getting involved with this group, this Red Dawn group or whatever they are.
Last week it was Red Storm. Now it's Red Dawn. Wolverines! No, the Black Raven.
Yes. Getting involved with these Black Storm people.
The Black Storm. Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We're here talking about Carnival Row. Season 1, episodes 5 and 6. Grieve no more. And the other one. And Unaccompanied Faye. There we go. All right. So, yes, there's only 8 episodes total.
Yeah.
So the next time we talk, we'll be talking about the end of season 1.
Yes.
And maybe a little season 2 theories.
Sure.
But for now, it's 5 and 6. The table setters.
Yes.
Setting the table.
That's right. Getting the table ready to be set.
That's right. Oh, look at that. Oh, got some glassware there. Okay. A little mime work. Mm-hmm. So, we've got another murder. The doctor has been killed off by the Dark Asher.
Yeah, he's dead now. So,
actually, it was an interesting point there where he has a little West Highland White Terrier. I grew up with Westies. Jamie, patriarch of our family. Anyway, so the Westie goes upstairs and then he goes like, "Rawr!" And I'm like, you did not just kill a Westie. And they didn't. They deliberately showed the Westie fine later. I was like, oh, kill a guy. That's fine. Oh, yeah, he horribly mangled the guy. But, as long as you didn't kill the terrier, we're good. So the Westie survived.
Well, they could have, melded him with another creature, and then you might have had a, Westie, like, bog or something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, we do see Philo goes back to Philo Jr.
Yeah, Philo.
He just, goes back to the mole fish, and he's like, oh, all right, you proved it. Kill it.
Yes.
So the seer woman chops it up, but shows that it can't die as long as he draws breath.
Yes.
Which obviously is going to mean that whoever is controlling the Dark Asher, when they die, Dark Asher dies.
Yes, and she makes it clear, too, that he sensed the kind of, it wasn't like a little bog fish or whatever. What he saw had an intelligence to it, but she was like, la la la. What you were sensing was the intelligence of the person driving it, not the intelligence.
See through its eyes.
Yes, so it becomes a part of the person. Or
so we know, for instance, that the killer is okay with Westies. It's like, you know what, a little terrier, we'll let that go. Go ahead, little terrier.
Yeah, see, some of you may have been watching. Aha! I know who it is now.
That's right. Who likes puppies?
Yes.
So, yeah, but it is kind of interesting because it's like, his response to this mole thing that's part him.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, just stick it in a jar.
Yep.
Forever.
Yes.
Yes. Like, it's pretty...
I was thinking that initially too, but then after watching it, it's like, it's like a puppet.
Well, that's true. It doesn't have a brain.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like it sits there feeling.
Like, what should I do now, master?
It's a husk.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Although every once in a while he could just go like, because theoretically he could look through its eyes.
That's true.
Right? So he could just be like, ooh, hey, check it out. I can see the inside of this jar. So he could move the jar around. And then it could be like his little, like early form of
surveillance device.
Yeah. Nothing but an old mole fish in the corner. Let's talk crime.
It's like, wait a minute. What's that mole fish doing over there?
What?
Did Philo give you that?
Curses.
He's seen everything.
So anyway, that's proven. We learn more about the Dark Asher. We see the Dark Asher killing the doctor. We have, in his investigation of this, Philo starts putting it all together.
Yes.
Or, in terms of, he went back to the orphanage, and we saw like this flashback to him as a kid in the orphanage. And we find out that, in fact, the singer, Pixie, was his mom.
Yes.
Because he remembers the voice. She used to come and sing to him.
Yes.
And, her voice was very unique. And he remembered the words. There's a few lines there from previous episodes where he's like, those words, the song sounds hauntingly familiar. The reason.
Yes.
Because his mom was singing it to him.
That's right.
Kind of off on the side. Like no one else around. Is there anyone else? No? Okay. So he's figured out that, the doctor also was the one who cut his wings.
Yep.
So he now knows, oh, okay, 3 people are dead.
Yep.
The guy who ran the orphanage, the guy who cut off my wings, and my mom. Obviously, I'm connected to this somehow.
That's right.
Just to finish off that, we're not going chronologically here so
No.
much, but Philo eventually, in his attempt to, cobble a relationship together with Portia, the human,
Yes.
he confesses his secrets. Or, you know what, you're right, I have been holding secrets. Here's a secret.
Yeah, why don't you tell me? And, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with
Yeah.
anything you tell me. Anything at all.
As soon as that's coming out, you're like,
Anything.
oh boy, that's not going to work out. And it doesn't.
No.
He says, yep, I'm half Fae. She flips out.
Yep.
And
You must leave the whole building.
and I'll say she doesn't run to the cops.
No.
Because the cops come to her.
Yeah.
But they're they ferreted out
Yeah.
of her, and she tells them.
Yeah, because he mentions that he needed a new place to stay. That's why he couldn't get sleep. And they're like, oh, let's go over there and see if there's anything behind that.
Yeah.
Anything?
They actually did some pretty good detective work.
And she even said that
The other
she
detective.
held out for a while.
Right.
But no.
Right. Because he's the jerk cop.
Yep, jerk
But
cop.
He even was kind of pulling it together, and the doctor maybe cut his wings or something. I was like, damn, well done,
Yeah.
jerk cop.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, well, as much as they're being jerks and they're throwing him in jail because he is half Fae.
Yes.
There is a reasonable you could see why he'd at least be a person of interest.
Right.
If you're like, hey, look, all 3 people that died have a lot to do with this guy.
Yep.
So it's not completely out of the pale that he might be
it's
like,
not.
why don't we bring you to the station?
No, it's not out of the
But in this
pale.
case, they've thrown him in
Yes.
jail.
And he was keeping things from them. He hadn't told him
Right.
about what he was doing and the information that was coming out completely. So it's like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, even his friend cop
Yeah.
is like, oh yeah, he wasn't telling me everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's looking guilty to his friends. We know he's not guilty, but they don't. And they're willing to expect the worst because they're racists.
Yes. And, he has a conversation with his wolf buddy.
Darius.
And he's like, what? Why would you tell her about this?
Yeah.
What? Don't you know what that's going to do to me?
Yeah, so what we get the idea that if Philo goes to jail, then he's the one guy that's keeping Darius from
Even worse, I guess.
getting killed himself or executed
Or
or
something. Who knows?
There's a self-interest there,
Yes.
obviously. But yeah, Darius is like, you idiot!
Yes.
Why'd you do it?
Yeah, why?
I just wanted to share with someone. So his story, his arc ends, episode 6-wise, with him being in jail now. So Philo is now in jail.
It does show you, though, the real small world that these Critches inhabit. It's like a friend of the opera singer there is the maid for the Spurn Roses. So a little puck friend that she had that his mother had.
Yes. So all right. So the Imogen Spurn Rose's dad apparently looked after Philo's mom while she was pregnant. Because apparently back then it wasn't such a huge deal for humans and pixies to intermarry.
Yes, that's right.
Times have changed with the war and such. So there's that storyline. I felt like the pacing was a little slower for these 2 episodes, particularly episode 5, but also episode 6 to me. And I think when I try to rationalize why it felt slow, I think it's because I'm not a huge fan of the Imogen Agreus storyline. It seems like this also ran story where, we meet Imogen mainly because Vignettes works for them.
Yep.
And then Vignette moves on. The story moves on.
Right.
But we're still with them. Now we see also, though, there's a connection to Philo's mom, at least.
Yes.
But there's a lot of courtly manners going on.
Yeah.
There is an interesting tale to tell, and there's a good life lessons about not hating the other and the idea of being bigoted and such, and then class warfare. Man, it just feels slow. It just feels slow.
I thought it was. I liked it. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I liked the little parlor grouping they had.
Oh, right. When she brings in some other people from the neighborhood.
Yeah, because someone was attempting to, perhaps in a way that somebody who appears liberal but still gives social force to prejudice would say, "Oh, well, I'm sure you're looking forward to more,
right.
This new advances or whatever, so that we can have a more,
Inclusive
society." And he's like, "What the heck are you? I'm sure that other people don't feel that way. It's like, you're pandering to me." So it's like I like how I like the Grace's performance.
I do. I mean, like, I appreciate what they're doing with it. It's just when you counterpose it to this like gothic horror mystery, and then you cut away to, we're gonna buy a painting to show that guy. It feels like there's a halt in the action.
Well, I think they're really trying to. It's like one of the things I noticed when I watched it the second time is that in comes a black couple into this group that's accepted normally, and the daughter Sophie was saying, when our people came to this place, we were initially treated with suspicion, but then we were accepted. And so, should we treat the Fae or all these other people this way? And so initially,
the way she sets up, you're like, oh, so she's going to be on Jared Harris's side.
Yeah, but no.
Nope. She just like.
Yep. No, they are different.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly. Well, one thing she says is that she can't. There's no other thing she could do. And I think in terms of her establishing herself quickly, she's not going to get as much by saying, I'm going to say something completely different than my dad. It's better to say, okay, I will pick up the sword that he had.
Take up the mantle of the Longerbanes.
Yeah.
Right, so that's in the political center there. We've got Longerbane obviously was murdered by Piety, Jared Harris's wife.
Yes.
Nobody knows that, her at this moment, but...
Well, Jonah suspects.
Right. And so
does Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie's like way up on stuff. You're like, whoa, what? Okay.
Yeah, they're really trying to, I think, set her up as a not Macbeth.
Like a Lady Macbeth.
Lady Macbeth, yes.
She's very Machiavellian.
Yeah.
And so this fact that she gives this rousing speech, and we get the feeling that maybe she doesn't even believe it.
Yeah.
That she's just doing it because this will get me power.
Yep.
And she
doesn't like the term critch.
Right. So she has this conversation with Jonah, the heir apparent, you want to call it.
Yes.
And they're flirting a little bit over the body of her dad, and who she obviously does not care for.
No.
And she says an interesting thing there, where she's like, "Oh yeah, you and I are alike. We are heirs to the most powerful families in town. But my advantage is, my parents are gone."
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's a big like. Ding, ding, ding,
yeah,
ding,
she
ding,
was
ding,
almost
ding.
like, my parents are gone, Matt.
Have you been matted lately? Yeah. Goodbye, Jared Harris.
Yeah.
And apparently Piety as well. But so, you get the feeling that she has designs on either marrying Jonah or something like that, where they'll combine those
power,
families.
Yeah.
One or twin powers activate. So that's kind of the table setting. That's setting a table for 7 and 8. And maybe that was part of it too, was that there was some table setting going on, so it just felt a little slower. But that juxtaposition of, we're investigating this horrible crime, and then like a Downton Abbey manners type thing.
They're setting up that it's an aspect of bigotry that is making them and their actions possible. Sophie and Jonah's, where it's like they're building up.
Specifically like Imogen and Agreus, but right, it's the same society that they all live in.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're the ones like Imogen and
Agreus.
No.
Oh, her brother Ezra. Yeah.
They're want to. They're making money off of the passage of Fae back and to their.
Right.
That's what they're making money off of. So it's less about Well, and I guess it's indentured servitude still, but still, it's like at least bringing them into, as opposed to treating them, you know, scornfully. And I think what they're setting up is, just like the more political power that you're going to have are really flaming these bigotries and anger and stuff. So that's where it makes sense to sort of put your money behind it, because like you can actually accrue more power if you satisfy these passions, as we see today.
Good point. There are definitely echoes of this storyline that we're seeing.
So that's what I think they're setting up. I mean, maybe the other thing that's in that same thing, because I wasn't in love with it. It just seemed like an excuse to. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, as a character thing, I suppose it's legitimate. But when Vignette is arrested,
yes, that scene didn't come off the way they wanted it to. I think it just didn't. I think I get the idea on paper.
Yeah,
it was they appropriated the old library of the Fae and they brought it here to the museum, and she went and freaked out. In fact, the name of the episode, Unaccompanied Fae, is because no unaccompanied Fae allowed to this exhibit. But I don't know. I didn't get that amount of outrage.
She lost her mind.
It just didn't feel
she
earned.
Could not behave rationally in that moment, thinking that she had to protect it that way. Whether she might have been smart to say, well, what? Maybe when they close, I can do something then.
Right, and go
steal all that stuff and get it all back from them or something. I mean, but no, this, it seems a little far fetched there. And what they've been setting up with the whole time is for her, like, oh, she better be careful about who's getting involved with this group, this Red Dawn group or whatever they are.
Last week it was Red Storm. Now it's Red Dawn. Wolverines. No, the Black Raven.
Yes. Okay. Getting involved with these Black Storm people.
The Black Storm.
Anyway, but no, they have nothing to do with this fall.
That is a good point. Like, she was really at odds with them. Then she, put up a sacrifice guy.
Yes, yeah.
And now, like, for the last 2 episodes,
not at odds, but she was. Everybody was saying she should be careful. Right. Well, that's true. But because of her association with.
With Philo.
Philo, yeah.
But it just felt like in the last these 2 episodes, she doesn't really have any connection to them at all.
Well, she does in that she's operating the lots.
True, good point. We see her like doing the lottery. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So she's a lieutenant now. So looks like they're playing a longer game with that.
I agree. So, that seems more season 2-y, maybe.
Yeah.
So we do also see, as far as you were talking about, the racial unrest, we see that the Pucks have these like a homeless shelter for Pucks that then they start turning it into like, hey, have you heard about the Lord?
Yes.
Kind of thing. Yes. And they start doing the flagellation thing.
Yes.
And there's a kind of disturbing scene there where human peasant starts whipping one of the Pucks, and the Puck's like, no, take this in.
Yes.
Don't save him.
Yes.
This is what it's like.
Yes.
Feel the anger, basically. So again,
feel the hate.
Feel the hate coursing through you. Embrace the dark side of the Force.
Exactly.
So you were talking about what Sophie's doing, fanning the flames.
Yep.
This group is fanning the flames of Puck.
Yeah, and the thing that it took me a while to appreciate is he's the Puck that was fired in the first 2 episodes or whatever it is, when it's like, oh, you let him go? You let Jonah get kidnapped?
Oh,
he was the Puck who was looking after him,
so
he got fired. Yep.
Okay.
So you're paying attention to him.
Dun, dun,
he's
following little narratives there, little story arc.
Yep. As he's being indoctrinated.
Another story arc we see is Runyon, the guy who has the puppet show where he uses kobolds for puppets.
Yeah.
We get the idea the kobolds are okay with it, that they're more like actors in a troupe as opposed to do my bidding. But it's hard to tell. We don't, in other words, is he just as bad as anybody else that's exploiting a different race?
We don't know because we haven't really had a chance to get a sense of things through their eyes. He's upset when they're gone.
Yeah.
And
they get deported.
Right, they get deported, and but and he certainly misses them. And I don't think we see any evidence that he's abusing them.
I think the implication is that they're like, "Yay, we're happy to be actors in your troupe," but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
How is he's exploiting them? So we do see that they do like a little Dark Asher play.
Yeah. Was it? What are they? Oh yeah, he was talking about them actually when he's contrasting them with other creatures.
Yeah, so he's trying to keep them from being deported. So he's like, no, they're pets.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're not people.
Yeah. It's like, well, they're smart. It's like, are they?
I know. I was trying to think, like, is he? I felt like he was saying that in order to keep them there.
Yes. Oh no, I know. Right, but yeah, they're portraying parts though of people.
Yeah.
So it suggests something.
I mean, they're no mole fish. Yeah. But yeah, they'll do. They're fine. So he has a conversation with Philo there, where he's the one that remembers the fact that the singer, his mom, Philo's mom, did have this several months where she disappeared.
Yes.
And he always thought she probably was giving birth, and that was at the Spurn Rose's place. Anyway, so he could fill in the gaps in the story.
Yes. But the thing that he doesn't know, and the thing that Philo didn't even know until, I don't think he even knew at the end of the episode, is who his father is.
Correct. They still, at the end of this episode, have not. He asks pointedly, "Who's the dad?"
Yes.
So they're keeping that on ice for the next episode or two. I assume we will certainly find that out by episode 8. So another death that we almost certainly will see before the end of episode 8 will be the seer woman. She saw her own death.
Did you recognize that the actress?
I guess I didn't.
She is the Queen Borg.
Oh yeah, good point. Right. Okay.
They're like, she looks good with that crap on her face.
So Queen Borg foresaw that she's going to be killed by the Dark Asher, which means she's going to be killed by the person running the Dark Asher.
Yes, and of course it was really distressful for her conspirator.
Yes.
She's like, what? Oh no, that's not. Maybe you should stay with me.
Right, and so you start putting two and two together, and you think, okay, well, why would somebody want to bump off the seer? Probably want to bump off the seer to hide your tracks. So someone who might know how to create a Dark Asher, you might want to be like, So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I'm starting to figure that maybe our villain is also our villain. It's like Piety's not just your level 2 boss.
No,
she's actually a level 3 boss. She's been doing a whole bunch of crap. Although I started to feel like Sophie's going to be like a major player for. I don't know if she's necessarily a villain yet, but she feels villainous, right? And that she could be like some kind of ultimate power or something in this whole thing. Yeah. But yeah, so those are the main beats. Philo's in trouble, damn it.
Yes.
I've got to save him. Plus he's, now he knows who his mom was. Yes. He's going through all kinds of, he had this urge to reveal himself, and it didn't pay off. So he's finally like, okay, thanks for the life lesson. I guess I'll just have to go to therapy for the rest of my life.
Or you might say, you know what, the people that because he posed it to
a human
Vignette that he didn't feel a part of either world.
Yeah.
And so when he decided, okay, I'm gonna try to do something with Portia, it was like he was making a choice.
Yeah, he was making a choice, right?
Except they can't accept him.
And it was like,
so
Yeah, and now the cat's out of the bag, so he can never really fit in that way again.
Right.
The cops are probably never going to accept him.
I wonder.
Okay.
I wonder. It's it's a good question.
I liked this little tidbit.
Just make it more stark for the next season, I guess. I mean, I can't imagine they'll be wrapping up that quickly.
I agree. I don't think you're going to have a situation where at the end of episode 8, the cops are like, you know what? Yeah. You're all right. Let's get back on the beat. Like, I don't think that's happening. How does he what is his new job? What is his new? How does he fit into society now that everyone important knows that he's a half Fae?
Yeah.
But I like the little addition there where the Puck housemaid. I do this like those are hair horns.
Oh, Grace?
Grace. She remembers him as an infant. Like she didn't know it was him until he lets the cat. He's like, it was me. But she's like, oh yeah, and he had these wings, but she didn't think the wings were actually big enough to let him fly.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that was an interesting touch. So he would have had useless wings.
Yeah, interesting. He was like a chicken.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, he's the chicken Fae. Which again shows that he doesn't quite fit. You know, he would have been like, I'm the Fae that can't fly. Oh. Anyway. So yeah, if you've got some thoughts on episodes 5 and 6.
Philo, the small winged Fae.
Had a very tiny wing. So yeah, if you've got some thoughts, put them down in the comments. It is a very cool show. I mentioned that this 5 and 6 was a little slow for me, but you know, it has a lot going for it, and it does. You know, it's always engaging visually. I like the visuals generally of the show. And
it's funny. I was reading up on the series, and I'd assumed it was based on another work. It's not.
So it is. It's not an adaptation. No. Right? It's just like boom.
Yeah.
So you got to give it credit for that too.
Yeah.
Major credit, and the music's great too, by the way.
Yeah. Really no, it has a great look and everything. I think they've done a good job of creating this world. Whoa, that's the thing I was going to mention.
All right.
I like this other world, not Earth world, where it's like instead of a cross.
Oh yeah. The martyr.
Yes,
they worship
the martyr,
which is Jesus,
who was hanged. Yes, it's like at first I was just sort of like, there's just some guy hanging there, but no, that's this.
No, it wasn't an actual dude. It was
it's a statue that's like, oh, that's our.
So their version of Jesus was hanged.
Yes.
Instead of crucified.
Yes.
Yeah. I also noticed that the Fae worship. I think it was Saint Titania. As I heard the name, which, and the fact that they have Puck and Titania, 2 characters from Midsummer Night's Dream. They have a lot of fairies in there, so I don't know there's a little Midsummer reference there.
Interesting.
Somebody played Puck in high school. There you go. Then I started flagellating myself, and then
you became a big fan of Alpha Flight.
Right.
You know.
And then I had to kill all humans, which apparently the Pucks will do. So anyway, yes. So yeah, we'll be back talking about 7 and 8, and also get ready for Mr. Robot. That is coming around. A lot of fairies in that, a lot of pixies.
Exactly.
So get ready for that. And the molefish. Bye, everybody.